real life tricks, tips, and real ways to add an extra 20 new patients a month to your chiropractic practice. So, the average chiropractic practice does about 20 new patients per month. We're able to add 20 more extra new patients to your practice. This will change everything. So I want to thank you for joining us on this webinar. You're going to learn some real information. Hopefully your pen and paper out, and we sent you some notes to take along well. So take some notes, get some good information today. And this is real valuable implementable stuff. This is not theory. This is not background stuff. This is real stuff to help you grow your practice. So take some notes and let's get ready to grow your practice. So who is this webinar for? Really just a couple people. It's not for everybody. Number one, a practice owner or someone soon to be a practice owner. So you're a lifelong associate, planning on being an associate forever. Probably not for you, more for the lead doc of the clinic. For someone who wants to add 20 new patients a month to your practice or more. So 20 new patients a month can change just about anything. There's not a lot of practice problems that can't be solved with 20 more new patients per month. And we'll go through that as well today. And also for an implementer. So obviously, there's a lot of good information in here, but you have to do something with it. And for someone who wants financial freedom. So hopefully you want some financial freedom, more money, more time off, and getting off the practice roller coasters. So I talked about this quite a bit on my podcast and book. But we want to get off the practice roller coaster. Most of us, practice goes up. We get too busy treating patients, goes back down. We market, goes up, goes back down. We ride this roller coaster for 20 years. We never get anywhere. And that's not the way you want to run your practice. So if you want to get off that roller coaster, get some financial freedom, and add 20 new patients a month to your practice or more, this is the webinar for you. So the new patient problem for most practices, and really more new patients will solve most problems that you have out there. So our problems in chiropractic clinics are a few things. Inconsistent new patient generation. So we get, good new patient month, bad new patient month. We're slow in the winter, busier in the spring. We do an event, it's busy, next month is slow. And like I said, I like to call that the practice roller coaster. That's what most practices are doing. It's a good month, it's a bad month. A good month, a bad month. If you really had 40 new patients a month, every single month, 60 new patients a month, change everything. We get 90 to 100. You keep it up every month. There's very few slow months. That's going to get off that practice roller coaster. And the big problem I've been seeing the last few years is leads are not patients. So everyone's talking leads. We can get you more leads. I'll teach you guys leads. Leads aren't patients. They don't come in the door. A lot of times this can be a really bad strategy. So chasing the leads, calling these free Facebook exams, all this silly stuff people are teaching out there, it can create more work sometimes than it's worth. You're getting 40, 50 leads a month. And it always cracks me up. Leads aren't patients. And we're not going to teach you how to get 20 leads a month. I'm trying to get 20 new patients in the door more than what you're getting now. So we'll talk more about that later. But it's not for the leads. It's for new patients. So I want to do the new patient math. So what's the new patient math? We want to figure out your math of what a patient's worth in your office. So in the average chiropractic office, $1,200 to $2,500 is what they're worth. I've seen more. Unfortunately, I've seen less. If we get below 1,000, we're having some problems making a practice work. So what this means is what a new patient is worth. So take your total collections in a month and divide it by the total of new patients. So if you had 10,000 new patients, $10,000 a collection with one new patient, an average new patient is worth $10,000. And this goes, on and on for the math. So do your math right now. You don't have the numbers in front of you. Just get a ballpark. We average 20,000 a month in collections. We get an average of 20 new patients. We're doing $1,000 per new patient. So you can do it on the back of napkin now. You should get in and know this. This should be a stat you're going over monthly, weekly, quarterly with your coach or your team. And it should be really important to do. But let's just figure out the math. Get a ballpark number in your head right now. I'll give you a second just to do that. So where are you on there? Hope most of you are going to be in that range. If you're below that, we have some problems with collections or something going on we need to talk about. And certain types of practices are way above that. I understand that as well. We're in the $2,500, $2,600 range in my place. But let's just say we're averaging $1,500 per new patient. So we're not even in the top end. We're in the bottom, 30% that. If I can teach you how to get 20 more new patients per month, that's $30,000 per month more, or $360,000 per year more. If we could add at least $2,000 per patient, that's $480,000 per year more than you're getting now. So that is a lot of more new patients. So we're going to show you how to make a lot more money in your practice, and it's going to be a lot of profit. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Some marketing expenses, obviously, but if we're going to add 360, 480 to your practice, the average practice is only doing 360 a year or less. If I can actually get 20 more new patients a month, we can add 360 to practice doing 360. That's 720. You should be able to keep, close to half of that. That's a really, really profitable business. If you're getting 2,000 per new patient, I can teach you how to get 20. That's $480,000 extra per year on top of where you're collecting now. So 20 per month is not hard. We do close to 100 new patients per month every month. So I know how to do it. If you're getting 20, for me to add 20 is actually super easy. There's more than enough information here to get you up to 40. If you're doing 30, 40, an extra 20 is really pretty easy for most practices. Now, if you're me doing 100, adding 20 is not quite as easy, but there's plenty of easy ways to add a lot more new patients there, and we're going to show you today. So why am I doing this? So we're going to talk more about me in a minute, but I decided to just get back to the profession. I've gotten a lot from the profession. We have a $2 million a year practice, lifestyle I can only imagine or dream of, a lot of time off, nice house, the boats, the cars, everything I've ever wanted from chiropractic. Had a lot of amazing mentors along the way too, and I've been helped by some of the best in the profession. I count some of the top people as really close friends of mine. So I've been blessed, and I've had a lot of struggles though as well. So I struggled to get where I am. Learned a lot of this stuff the hard way, school of hard knocks, learning the hard way, listening to the wrong people. And, kind of learned the wrong way. So I want to help people, speed that along and not learn this hard way and take me as long. I've been an overnight success that took 16 years to get to a $2 million practice. And I want to help you speed up that curve, right? All right, so a little bit more about me. If you don't know me, you may not. A lot of chiros do know me. Obviously, I've been around, but tell you a little bit about me, how I became a chiropractor, and my practice roots. So that's me growing up over there, that goofy football picture there. My parents had me in a bowl cut for way too long, but that's okay. So we had that nice goofy bowl cut for a long time, and that was me growing up in Northwest New Jersey, kind of the suburbs. And you can see they kept that bowl cut for a long time, pretty goofy. So there's me again with another bowl cut picture. This is my goofy prom picture. I'm all the way top left, obviously the tall blonde guy, taller than everybody else. I have to say I'm probably the least goofiest of my friends there in high school there, right? But it's a pretty goofy picture growing up. But I grew up athletic kid, basketball, football, little baseball, rugby in college. Athletic kid, really liked to play sports. But then in 8th grade, had a little car accident. So we were on our way to a wedding in upstate New York. Driving along, and we got sideswiped pretty bad, put our whole family of 4 in the hospital, collapsed lungs, broken bones, concussions, etc., and came out and my back was pretty banged up. I was an athletic kid. I was only 13, a lot of sports, and all of a sudden I couldn't be on the sports teams anymore. So that was not very good for me. So I couldn't play any more sports and was not very happy. So I was laying on the floor. I'd go to school and just lay on the floor for 3 hours after school and just in back spasms. And eventually my mom takes me to a chiropractor. And my grandmother actually been going to the chiropractor. So that goes way back. I'm 40 now. She's been passed away for years. So long time ago, there my family was going. And my mom takes me in a couple weeks later. Back as good as new, and I'm back to playing sports again. We had a career paper in school. My dad was an engineer, which I found incredibly boring. And so I followed around the chiropractor and told my parents at 13 I was going to be a chiropractor when I grew up. And they didn't tell me until I finally graduated school years later that they just kind of thought that was a 13-year-old kid talking, and they doubted I'd stick with it all those years. But I did, and here I am now. So I'll tell you a little more about that. Funny, I was interviewed on Chiro Sushi podcast, and Tristan Schaub that runs that. I said, he said, I remind me not to get in cars with chiropractors. All you guys had car accident stories when you were younger, got you into chiropractic. But you'll find most people in chiropractic are really in it for the right reasons, and usually an injury, accident, something when they're younger has propelled them to get into the profession, and that's a good thing. So most of us got into it for the right reasons, and you probably have a similar story yourself. So I graduated from New York Chiropractic December 2003. I signed a lease before I had my board scores that I passed and my license and everything. I opened up March 2004. So, we graduated like December 22nd. I was treating patients in March 2004 in my clinic. I worked weekends in a clinic in Newark to help pay the bills. It was a 700 square foot office. I started shoestring budget, which, if you're thinking of starting out new, I would not follow my footsteps here. I made a lot of mistakes. And that's why you can tell, I've learned from this stuff the hard way. Started 700 square feet, tiny little office, painted it myself, terrible paint job. I did a lot of the work myself. I remember driving around. I think my parents had a Jeep at the time. Drove all over New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, buying used equipment, the cheapest tables and stuff I could find. Drove all over the place, getting all the used equipment, and worked 5 days a week in that clinic getting started, and weekends in another clinic in Newark, which even though it was hard work, it was a good experience, learned a lot, and I'm thankful for that doc that gave me that experience as well. So that is my airbrush goofy glamour shot. That was a glamour shot in a mall. It's pretty embarrassing. That's me starting out. So I did the accelerated science program where I graduated undergrad in only 3 years and New York in 3.5. So I was pretty young getting out of school, but started right out, and I got a little bit of baby face as well. And then they airbrushed it, so I look like I'm 12 in that picture. So that's me trying to start the practice. That's our original clinic there. And right where that planter with dead plant there is, that was the original office, 700 square feet. You can see that sign over there says Taylor, and I will eventually take that over later. But that was the office, real humble. You see these signs are pretty ghetto, actually. We just did these signs at basically they're printed, laminated, and like glued on wood. So I couldn't afford like a real sign. And so these were like kind of just printed, laminated, and glued on a piece of wood to make it look like a real sign. It's pretty sad. But we grew. So 700 square feet, a couple of years of real hustling, every health fair, everywhere you went. We grew 1,700 to 1,400 square feet. right where that printer is there, we basically knocked that wall down, and the tailor had 3 little like fitting rooms that we just translated right into chiropractic rooms. So I didn't have to build the rooms, do much build out. We blew down a wall and minor stuff. So it wasn't super expensive to do the expansion, and it came up. We were getting busy. And so that was the expanded office. It probably looks like a lot of your guys' offices look like 1,400 square feet, 5 rooms, little open area, and just a good little practice going. But the overhead increased, added an associate, we got busier, the overhead went up, but really no more profit. There's a point where after we expanded where I was making less money than I was making at the smaller place, which can often happen. So I hadn't taken any time off in 5-6 years at this point, been just working weekends at the clinic, another clinic to pay the bills. And then I just took, after that, it was every single health fair or event I could go to, I went to. And so I took my first couple of days off in a long time, maybe 6-7 years, took a long weekend. And right before the weekend, the IRS called. So I made some rookie mistakes, which I'll go over real briefly with you. So a lot of you are probably doing this. We did quarterly estimates, which my accountant, which I learned from school, told us to do. And when you're growing every year, those quarterly estimates aren't enough, right? So you're supposed to, say you owe $20,000, you pay, 4 payments of $5,000, you should be good. But as the practice was growing 20% a year, that was short. So we'd be $5,000-6,000 short. And so that worked out all right for a while. But as the growth grew faster, then it's $20,000 owed at the end of the year. And then so the 1 year we owed 20, but the problem was I wasn't taking any more money home, really. There wasn't $20,000 sitting in an account. All this extra money really would fuel the growth, adding staff, advertising, expansion. There wasn't money left over. I'm sure y'all been here. So, 1 year we're short, we owe 20, I only have 10, so I owe 10, I put that on a payment plan. Next year we owe 30. Let's just say I'm making these numbers up, it was a long time ago, but it's something like that. Next year you owe 30, so now you didn't pay off that 10 from last year, because if you're going on a payment plan, the IRS, the interest and fees are insane. So if you owe them 10 grand and you're spending $1,000 a month, after a year, you still owe them 10 grand, right? And that's kind of what happened to me. And then that year we came up short like 30 or some 20 something. And if it's over 30, the IRS starts getting pretty serious. Now, this is years ago. It might be less or more now. But once over 30, they basically, they're no more Mr. Nice Guy, just payment plans. It is, we're calling you and you got to get this balance below 30,000 the next 30 days or 10 days. I think it was even less, 10 days. And that was right before this vacation. They basically scraped together all the money from all the accounts, hit collection real hard. And I had to write an $8,000 check the day before I went on vacation. We had $7,998 in the bank account and wrote an $8,000 check and hoped that maybe a deposit would come in the next few days. It was basically that deal. And the check cleared and eventually got that paid off, but it was not a good spot to be at. So I was at the bottom of the bottom there. That IRS was the least of my problems. I had an Amex for the business and Amex personal, and was spending money on both of them, the Amex business to keep the business running, and the Amex personal to kind of live a lifestyle that I didn't have yet, and max these 2 cards out. And Amex cards max out pretty high. I think we're talking 30,000 each. Well, the IRS over 30, so we're talking 60, 100 there. They're ready to threaten liens, and the student loan payment had not been touched yet. So I was in a bad spot. So you guys all probably been there, or hopefully not this bad, but I was down there pretty rock bottom. So I've been down there. So I've been down this road before. So I kind of took this bottom and made my aha moment there. I realized you really just can't do chiropractic and just adjust people all the time. Practice isn't about necessarily treating the patients. It's also about marketing the practice. So you have to be the marketer of the chiropractic practice. And I decided I really better learn marketing more. So I've been hustling, grinding, treating patients, kind of getting somewhere, learning some marketing the hard way. But I really realized I got to be the marketer of the practice. And that's my aha moment. And hopefully yours too. If you get nothing else out of this webinar, just learn that you need to be the marketer of the practice. Treating patients is great. You're always going to have to treat patients. Maybe you're multiple associates like me where you could back off treating if you want to. And I actually kind of did that. And that could be a whole other seminar as well. But I learned actually I still like treating patients, so there's a lesson there. But but I have to be primarily the marketer of the practice, and trying to have associates market the practice and all this other marketing directors. You have to be ultimately responsible. We can teach you how to marketing directors. Your associates can help out, yes, but you need to be the bottom line responsible for marketing the practice, and you need to learn marketing and learn the newest stuff and keep up with what's out there. And that's my aha moment. And if that's yours too, that can game change everything for you. So then we kind of learned what was going on. I kind of figured this out. And down here is actually my current clinic now. We're the bottom floor of this building here. It's still close to 6,000 square foot office. And we'll get in there a little bit. So up top is the old office, and this is the new one. So I learned I had to be in the business of marketing. I spent tens and thousands of seminars, hundreds and hundreds of hours of study, and traveled all over the world, literally doing this. I've had coaches upon coaches upon coaches. I mean, I still have coaches, even though I coach docs. I spent over $200,000 in coaching and still do. So I realized you really got to wear a new hat. You have to be the owner of the business, the marketer of the business, and then a chiropractor. And in that order, and that's what's really important. So you got to be the owner. You got to want the ones, bottom line payroll and making the hard decisions, marketing the business, and then finally a chiropractor. So it really needs to go in that order. And that's really, really, really important as well. So this is the current clinic now, 5,000 square foot open therapy area we have there. This is the front entranceway where this whole first floor of this building here. It's a large space. Our adjusting bays, we have new tables now. We have Leanders in there, picture a little bit older. Decompression, we now have 2. We got rid of the DRX. Actually, there's a little bit older picture as well. We have 2 Triton DTSs in there. Physical therapy on staff. We have PT area in the one corner. And we grew and grew and grew. So we went to 6,000 square feet now, over 450 visits per week. We're out of a lot of insurance networks. We don't take Medicaid, HMOs. We're out of network for a lot of big insurance companies. So, a lot of people, I was just at a seminar, guys seeing, $300 a day, but their collections are $1 million on like $350 a day. And it's like crazy, like how they're like, everybody must be free that comes in there. So we broke $1 million in 2014, I believe, 1.2 next year, 1.4. Now we're at 2 million and growing. 3 full-time chiropractors. They aren't independent contractors or any of that shenanigans. Full-time chiros working just for me. 2 physical therapists on staff, an acupuncturist, nutritionist, and a medical doctor. The medical doctor's collections don't go involved with ours, and we do well over $1.5 million in just chiropractic. So it is still mostly our practice. So other people saw my success and wanted to come to the clinic, ask for help. People calling me all the time. But unlike most of the coaches, consultants out there, I'm in practice all day, every day. So I got asked this 2010, one of my first times asked speaking for the Chiropractic Association. So I got asked to help to speak for the Chiropractic Association, to help other chiropractors out in New Jersey, Texas, Pennsylvania, and Florida. And I do enjoy doing that, but I limit it. You probably realize you don't see me on the circuit like some of the other people. And the one reason is that I don't need this for my living. I make my money on the practice. And for 2, I have young kids at home, and I don't want to be traveling all the time. I have a 4.5 and a 1.5-year-old, and my joy is to be at home with them and in the practice. So I keep that to a minimum, but I do some speaking. So I decided, hey, I don't want to tour all over. I don't want to consult with 50 doctors a month like some people do, maybe later. But as I got a successful practice family, I don't want to do that. So I decided I'd write a book to help out people, and that's worked out really well. So $62 Million Practice came out in 2015, and I didn't listen to what most people say, and I probably should have, but it's not about selling me or selling anything. The whole book is real practical tips. So if you hadn't read it, get a hands on it. I shouldn't have given away so much information if you abide by the normal rules of this stuff, but I really did it to help people. It wasn't to sell me. I didn't have anything to sell. People would contact me originally, and I said, I'm not doing I didn't do any coaching or anything right away. I was just, no, I don't have anything to sell you. Just, learn from the book, and that's it. So that's happened in 2015. Chiropractic Economics, I'm a featured article writer there. This year, I actually have a lot of articles coming out. They've asked me to step up writing for them. So I've been in there, featured a lot of times. You've probably seen me there. Multiple articles on chiropractic economics. And my podcast, so that was next. So I decided like to listen to myself talk, as you may have figured out, and started Dr. J's Path to Success podcast. So it's right now, if you search chiropractic in iTunes, we're in one of the top podcasts. We have well over 100 episodes. That says over 50,000. We're now at like 65,000 downloads. And I've had my guest list has included anybody in chiropractic. I find it hard. I don't think there's anybody that has any influence in chiropractic that hasn't been on our podcast, which is really, really cool. That was one of the cool things set out doing, is kind of interview my mentors, my heroes in chiropractic. And within like a year, I had everybody on. It was really cool. And it was almost kind of like I actually took a break. If you look at the podcast, like a couple month break, I'd gone over a lot of cool stuff. And I got interviews from everybody I ever wanted to talk to, like was on the show. So it was really cool. I got some of the best people. Mark Santa, great guy. Noel Lloyd, one of my early mentors. Tony Palermo, John DeMartini's a legend in chiropractic. Dr. Lee Newman, Dr. Jay Morgan, Tristan from Chiro Sushi, Jerry Kennedy, Black Sheep DC, Chad Woolner, Chiro Funnels DC, and Bond Halbert. And Gary Halbert's probably the greatest marketing legend that's ever lived. And Bond, his son, has followed in his footsteps. Gary's passed away, and he's been amazing. He was amazing guest. He learned great stuff. Adam Whitty, the CEO of Forbes Book. He's a top CEO under 30. He runs Forbes Books, a bunch of other companies. Amazing guy. Billy Sticker from Chiro Candy. You probably heard of him. Matthew Loop is regarded kind of as the top social media guy in chiropractic. Chris Widener, who's a great guy we kind of friends with. He was Jim Rohn's last mentor, so our mentee. So Jim Rohn taught him, and he's one of the top speakers in the world. Ed Osborne, the chiropractic philanthropist, one of the top podcasts in chiropractic, great guy as well. So you're kind of, and there's been more, there's more. Some of the top people in the profession been on there. So it's awesome. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's all great information. And pretty much, like I said, anybody, I couldn't even think anybody in chiropractic who's influential, who has not been on the show, which is really pretty cool. I've got some cool experiences along the way. I got to meet President Donald Trump actually twice, which is a whole webinar we can do in of itself. Pretty cool. Got to meet Donald, told him to fix this healthcare problem, and some other cool stuff. So I did a follow-up book here, Secrets of the World's Top Chiropractors. So we took those best podcast interviews of the top chiropractors, had them professionally edited, translated, or transcribed and edited, and they're come down into this book as well. So you can read them on your own. Met Jack Canfield. We have Damon John. Me speaking all over the place. And I just recently met Al Leiter, who's a really cool guy as well. So we're going to talk about number one thing here. Chiropractic school taught you nothing about starting, running, or building a practice. So chiropractors have been complaining about this for a long time. Listen, it's not going to change. They're not going to start teaching about it. And it can be hard. I was just at a seminar recently, and they kind of agreed with one of the speakers. Said it's their job to get you through school and get you past the board. It's not their job to teach you how to running or building a practice. There are books, courses, webinars like this out there that can teach you how to do that. So I kind of agree with that in a lot of ways. It's not their job necessarily. There's other resources out there. They could probably teach you a little bit more, but we could debate that. But anyways, it's not their job. They're not going to do it. Or if it is their job, they're not going to do it anyways. So we're going to have to learn the hard way, or you can do some shortcuts and learn from someone like me. So let's get into the meat and potatoes now. Let's get the pen and paper out. We're ready to go. New patient secret number one is this giant thing here. So this is our marketing calendar. So this is in our wall, in our break room, in our clinic. It's our marketing calendar. So we actually use some digital solutions now, but this is planning out your marketing for the entire year. You can see all these events scribbled in there throughout the entire year of a marketing calendar. It's really, really important to plan it out. This is how you get off the practice marketing roller coaster. So there's a sample one. And again, we could spend hours on this. We do have a 1-hour module on this. A marketing calendar to fill some things in. So January, fill an easy one. If you're in the Northeast or anywhere, or just the northern part of the country, anywhere where you get any kind of snow, do a snowblower giveaway, and we'll give. I'm going to give extra value on here in October, which is we can do also a leaf blower giveaway. So what do you do with this giveaway? And you can do this multiple months. So just do snowblower and leaf blower. Write this in the fall and the winter if you have that weather. But you just put a snowblower near the front desk. Enter to win this snowblower by leaving us a review or sending us a referral. There's a lot of nuances to this, but that's really it. You cannot give somebody a prize for giving you a review. That is illegal in just about every state. People do teach that. I've taught a marketing course with our attorney and had this all cleared with him, and I've done this in multiple states. So they can be entered to win by leaving your review, but saying $20 off or free massage, that's illegal in most states. You might be able to get away with it. I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice, et cetera, et cetera. But giving away a prize for reviews is illegal most of the time. So you can give them an entry to win a prize for a review, Google or Yelp. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Snowblower, leaf blower, TV, you can punch that in another month. So we'll do that same thing 3-4 months. So go pencil that in. Which review sites you use, we'll get into that a little bit. Google's number one still for most of you. So do Google, and we're talking about that a little bit more. Patient Appreciation Day. Again, don't ask me what's new. Ask me what works. This has been around for a long time. There's better ways to do this now. There's some tweaks and stuff, but still free adjustments for existing, free exams for new patients. You schedule a Saturday out, have some events for the kids, bouncy house, face painting, something to draw them in, free food, live music. Again, there's a lot. It's an hour course just on Patient Appreciation Day, but schedule that twice a year. We do that in the fall and the spring. So hopefully you're writing some stuff in because I'm giving you extra value here. Ladies' Night Out in May is a great promotion that we've been fine-tuning over the years. We've really got this right. So we're going to do a Ladies' Night Out. Do it in your clinic or off-site. And what you're going to do with that means you're going to have just Ladies' Night Out, have some ladies vendors, including yourself. You're going to have LuLaRoe and the candles and all that kind of stuff out, wine and cheese, ladies only, and you do a promotion to get them to come in as well. So you're doing a posture screen, you're doing something to come them in, get them in your clinic as well. So again, way more nuances. That's a whole half hour on that as well that we can't get into right now. November, December, we're going to do a food drive and a toy drive. So these are some big events that are going to work in most clinics these times. I understand if you're in California, you might do a snowblower, but it's whatever it is. It's something else. The Yeti cooler may be working great right now. November, December, we're going to do a food drive and a toy drive. So these are the same promotion run a little different ways. So food drive is going to be early November. We're going to do a bag of groceries for a free adjustment or a free exam. It's going to help you bring in new patients by getting new exam people and help reactivate, stir up, and generate some business with existing ones. There's a nice tweak on this we do with a free turkey giveaway as well. All the food goes to the local food drive or food bank. You're going to get a picture of them, put it on social media, emails, maybe even a press release, and get it out in the community. Promote that via newsletter, postcard, etc. ahead of time. Toy drive in December is the same exact thing, but with a toy. So bring in a toy, unwrap new toy in the beginning of December. You're going to get a free adjustment for existing patients, free exam for new patients. Grade 2 of the best drives, best promos you can do. And there's a lot more nuances to that. Do them in the beginning of the month. We've made this mistake multiple times. You bring toys to a toy place or to a charity, December 23rd. They can't handle a big truck full of toys and getting them to the right people in time. Same thing with the food in November. So do it at the beginning of the month where you can have time to give that stuff away. Little bonus tips. So there's some nuances to those two things, but killer promos. So fill this in. This needs to be filled in every month for one big thing like this that we just gave you 5-6 examples. We've just filled in half your calendar right now. There's plenty more out there, and there's plenty more that we can give you as well. But fill in that marketing calendar. Have a big event going on every single month. If you fill this in with one big event per month, you're going to be in good shape. We pencil in small things like lectures and other stuff, but one of these big events that we give you every single month is going to be killer for you. All right, new patient secret number 2. Google reviews. So there's all sorts of new sexy stuff out there. Google reviews are still probably one of the best bang for buck thing you get out there. We get minimum, and I'm not joking, we get 20 new patients per month on Google reviews, easy. And you can see, look at this, 182 Google reviews. If you look up, Alan, this is our real page, and this is why you're listening to me and not someone that hasn't practiced in 25 years or someone that never has successful practice. And I can tell you right now, about 99% of the people that you're listening out there never had a successful practice, never had 182 Google reviews, or had a successful practice 20 years ago before Google reviews are a thing. So you're not going to learn this out there from anybody out there that's actually in a practice doing this stuff. So we probably have more by now. I made this up a few weeks ago. 182 Google reviews. And if you look it up, Alamance Township is like 5,000 people. I'm not practicing in New York City. This is a small country town. You can even see from that picture, it's a small town. We have 182 Google reviews. We don't have a competitor even close. So Google reviews are huge. Make sure that your Google page here, your Google Maps, Google Local, they change the name all the time, and make sure it's updated, your correct hours, to make sure the dot on that map is correct. A real little thing, I have a brand new Range Rover, it costs $115,000, and when we go anywhere, we use Google Maps on my phone still. So I have this fancy touchscreen, system infotainment center that freezes all the time anyways, but this fancy navigation with this British lady talking, all this stuff, and we use Google Maps to get places in these fancy cars. My wife's Mercedes, same thing. So make sure that dot's correct. People are using that to get to your office. Make sure hours are right. If you type in Google Maps on how to get there, it says this place may be closed. So make sure his hours right, phone number's right, make sure that dot's right. That alone is tremendous. But getting these reviews up, it doesn't just help people looking at different offices. It helps your SEO, your everything increase. So how are we going to get more Google reviews? Again, we could spend a whole hour on this without a doubt on getting more Google reviews for your practice. But here's some of my key ways. There's 5 ways to get more Google reviews. Number 1 is shorten the URL. So you have especially a senior in there. Go Google us, find us on Google, write us a review. It's too much for them. So have a shortener. If you check mine out right there, and again, this is why you're learning from somebody in a successful practice, not someone that practiced 25 years ago. Go to reviewvfc.com. Type it in. Maybe write it down so you don't get off the webinar, but type that in, you'll see it goes right to where you leave me a review, reviewvfc.com. Just takes you right there. So you go to GoDaddy, you buy a name like that, and you have it just redirected there. Real simple. You can do it yourself or have your web guy do it or have a 13-year-old do it for you. Really easy to do that. So that's number 1. You can also do a QR code. I know some docs, I've coached with docs doing well with that. Like QR codes are kind of outdated. Those funny looking pixelated things where you take a picture of it. The nice thing is now the phones just take a picture of it and it recognizes it. You don't have to have like a separate app for the QR codes. I don't like them too much. I don't use them too much in my marketing. The one thing I have a client that does well, like seniors and stuff, even that Review VFC, to type that in is hard for them, I guess. What they'll do is actually take their phone in the clinic and have the QR code. And I played around with this and it does work. Have the QR code on a flyer and you just go to their camera on their phone and line it up and it takes them right to this URL. So that is a way. There's plenty of few QR generators online. You can do that. That's an extra bonus tip I'm giving you here. And that can work. So you can have a sign at the front desk, review us on Google, be entered to win this TV or whatever we just talked about. So the TV here is the easiest promotion. This works any month. Give away a TV. People say, I started doing this when a 32-inch TV was $1,500, I think. Now they're a couple $100, but I always say, the guy with 5 TVs wants 6, or you got kids going to college next year. The kid wants one in the bedroom. They want one outside. They got a man cave. Pretty much everybody wants one more TV. So you're never going to go wrong giving away that. So that's what you're going to do. Have a prize. There's all sorts of different stuff. We gave you some options in the marketing calendar. In our full program, there's dozens more. There's a couple really good ways to get them from your staff. So we have a couple of staff contests that we do to get Google reviews. So you can get 30, 40 from staff to give yourself a big jump. We have a special program just for that, which is amazing on how to get more reviews from your staff. But do this URL shortener, do prizes. You can do this almost every month, maybe every other month, mixed in with some of the other events we taught you, and you get a lot of Google reviews. And it's not just about being ahead. So here's me, 182 reviews, and you can check out, we get them weekly, but I'm in a small town in this Hackensack, New Jersey. Look it up. I mean, that's my surrounding area, and there's like 10,000. So our direct town's like 3,000 in surrounding. But you see Village Family Clinic, so you can learn a lot right there. 182 Google reviews, and you can see I have an ad up there. So sometimes Google has funky things, the town you're in, and they do weird stuff. You might not show up on top even though you have the most reviews. So I show up on top because I pay to be on top right there. And then right below, guess who's number 2? Me, because I had the most. So 4.9, 182 reviews. So again, there's no way. Find a chiropractic coach consultant out there who has an office that they run and own. It has 182 4.9 star Google reviews. You won't see it. And you'll find very few chiropractors, period, that have 182 5-star reviews. And go check us out now. It's probably more. And this isn't fake. I didn't, paste this. You can search me right now and find it. There I am. But you can see our next guy is 4 with a 3.8 and then 1 with 5 stars. So I have no competition. But you want to blow people away. One of my first coaching clients many years ago was in a really busy competitive market. He had people ahead of him, but we got ahead in Google reviews. We went from 20 to like 80. And I think 80, 90 he was up to in a big city. And, he had a competitor, but they were at like 40. So you can't just be 50 and they're at 50. You're at 50 and they're at 45. You need to blow them away. If they're at 50, you got to beat 80. If they're at 80, you got to beat 100. And with us, with 180, we're so far ahead, I think nobody even tries, but it would take years. I could fall asleep in this for 3 years and these guys aren't going to get 180 reviews to catch up with me, right? So number 2's got 4. He needs 180 to beat me, right? And he'll never do that. He probably doesn't even see 180 patients, right? So it makes a big difference. You really got to blow ahead. So you're not only getting more new patients from this, and that's what this course is about, you're going to get more referrals as well. So people refer you, hey, go see my chiropractor, Dr. Fedich. He's a great guy. First thing most of these people do is Google search you. So even one of my doctors who seemed to bring their husband or boyfriend to the urgent care, what's a good place? And I said this one place was good. And she came back and said it was amazing. They took great care of him. It was so amazing. And she goes, I looked up the reviews were terrible. And, if you didn't tell me, I might have thought about not going. And because I was her boss, she probably took more proof and I know everybody around. But even consider knowing your boss, like, there's some bad reviews. Maybe I won't go there. So that happens as well. And if you don't have a lot, etc. So reviews are really the social proof of society now. We don't have time to get into that right now, but social proof is people want to do what other people are doing. There's the story with the toothpaste is, people look at that American Dental seal on the back to judge it's a good toothpaste. Whether that means anything or not, it probably doesn't, but people look for that it's social proof. And again, one thing we always talk about is the restaurant. If you've ever been to a restaurant, you get in there early or it's quiet, they always sit you in the front by the windows, right? You ever notice that? So there's 10 people in there and they're all sitting in the front windows. And the reason is social proof. So somebody walks by, they want to see people in the restaurant. The whole rest of the place might be dead, but they're going to sit you in the front. So that's really important is social proof. So again, we get at least 20 just from this. We don't do anything with it besides getting more reviews here and there. And now I don't need to promote it as much because we have 182, but we get 20 new patients a month from Google reviews easily. So, I mean, that's legit. And that's a bottom number. I'm not inflating that. It's probably 30 most months that we're getting from Google reviews with limited to no work. So it's a really powerful strategy. Hopefully you implement this right away. All right, new patient secret number 3 for the webinar today, Facebook and Instagram ads. So I've been teaching this for a long time. I was teaching Facebook and Instagram ads for chiropractors years before most of these people out there now, because we've been doing well with this for a long time. Now there's everybody selling leads, and I just can't. So many docs are scammed by this. Leads are not patients. So we don't need leads in our clinic. Leads don't pay bills. Leads don't have insurance or money. leads are not patients. So stop getting leads, stop buying into this. Leads create a lot of activity. It's kind of like marketing masturbation, I call it. There's a lot of activity, but in the end, you're really not accomplishing anything. All these leads, you got to call the leads, they schedule, then they don't show up. You got to call and reschedule. It creates a lot of activity, but you're not getting anywhere. So just stop with the leads. I know some people do well with this, but in general, just stop. We're going to teach you how to get patients, not leads. All right, so here's a video ad. And again, this is why you're learning from me, not somebody who hasn't practiced in a long, long time. This is a current ad we're doing. I just snipped this out of a campaign. VFC video views that we're doing right now. We're doing $5 a day budget only. This has been running for a long time. 11,000 views, 15,000 impressions. The cost per result there is 1 cent. So 11,000 people have watched at least 3 seconds. 15,000 have seen it full scroll to page at $141. So where can you get $141? Can you have 11,000 people see anything? I mean, we do direct mail. We send 5,000 pieces a month. It costs me like $3,500 to send a postcard to 5,000 people a month. Here I'm reaching 11,000 people for only $141. It's unbelievable. Where else can you get that? So what are we going to do with that? We're going to get to this slide in a second. So there's a lot of Facebook and Instagram ads. There is a lot to it and changes rapidly. But here's the one thing that's worked for a long time. We've been doing testimonial ads on Facebook for years, and they've been working. And I try out new stuff. We do new stuff. We do all kinds of stuff. I've done leads. We do dinner with the doc ads, and I'll show you how to do all that stuff. But testimonial videos work the best. We do a testimonial video as an ad. Works the best. We then target anybody who's seen at least 50% of that video, and we follow them up with an offer. That's been the best funnel we've done. And this thing's changed. Listen, Facebook, Instagram change the rules daily. But testimonial ads have been running the best for me for a long, long time. You get video testimonials, run them as an ad with a call to action. Call now, something like that. And again, if they watch about half it or more, we target them with a follow-up ad for discounted exam. The details, again, for one, they change monthly, daily. Sometimes things change quickly, but that sort of funnels and work for a long, long time. So get your video testimonials and run them as ads. Works great. Again, the nuanced details day to day. I mean, literally, Facebook changes daily. So you got to change that all the time. But that's the best funnel I've ever seen. So this is a lot of information. Hopefully your pen's been scribbling down a lot of stuff. This is a lot. So you probably feel like you're drinking out a fire hose. Each one of those, marketing calendar things you went into is a half-hour explanation. Facebook, Instagram ads is hours explanation. Again, and the details change by the day, literally. So that changes constantly. And the Google review stuff is a lot of little stuff to do there, but it's a huge strategy. That alone will get you 20 new patients per month easily. You fill in your marketing calendar with decent events. That's another 20 on top of that. And we can teach you how to get 20 from Facebook ads. So literally, if you follow those 3 tips, they're each worth 20 new patients a month easily. They are in my clinic. I mean, we get 20 from Google reviews. You probably get 20, or you probably get 30 from Google reviews, 20 from Facebook ads. And any event's probably 20. So that's probably 70 a month out of everything we went over there. So some of my best material right there, we get 100 a month. There's how to get 70 right there. So there are 3 major methods to get new patients that we just taught you. There isn't one way to get 100 new patients a month, but there are 100 ways to get 1 new patient a month. That might be exaggerating, but I just showed you each one of those is worth 20 if you've done right and you're busy enough practice. But certainly each one will worth 10 and even a slow practice, right? So there isn't one way. So people want to say, show me a Facebook ad. They'll give me 100 new patients a month that we get. Doesn't happen. There isn't one Facebook ad that's going to get you 100. There's a lot of little ways to get a lot, and those 3 are each worth 10 to 20, depending on the size of your office. So those are all doubles and triples right there. There's singles out there as well as a lot of little things. There are some home runs, but they're pretty rare. What you're going to do is like those 3 strategies, you add a couple more, and you're going to get where you want to be. And that's what it's all about. So we're going to show you how to even get more new patients. This is not for complainers, someone that's not an implementer, or if this is going to take food off the table, this is not for you. But we're going to show you how to really ramp up those patients. So what most chiros don't realize, you don't need any more information. I mean, there's some good information in there. You do need information, but you need implementation even more. So you need to do this stuff, and you need somebody to help you do it with you. So what we developed is a 6-week done with you course. It's not done for you, it's done with you. We do it side by side with you, and toolkit of the actual ads, templates, examples. So you just plug and play all this stuff in. You don't have to create it from scratch. So I've called this program the ultimate new patient marketing machine and toolkit. It's everything you need to solve this new patient shortage forever, resulting in financial freedom that you've always wanted, practice stability, more time off. If the practice self-generate 80, 100 new patients a month like mine, you don't have to worry about coming in. You can take a day off and go golfing. Thursday, it's going to look nice on Thursday, so I'm just not going to come in and take my kids on the boat for the day. looking nice, patients will generate themselves, associates will take care of them. I don't need to be here struggling every single day. So that's what you're looking for, ultimate freedom and stability. So I call this Ultimate New Patient Marketing Machine Toolkit. And we act now going to get everything in this amazing toolkit to increase your new patients 60 a month, a minimum of 20. So here's what it includes. 6 modules it did. It's 6 approximately 1-hour trainings. And here what each module is covered. Module 1, strategy versus tactics. So we talk about leads, your ideal new patient. So first, before you go marketing, you got to decide who you want to get. The average new patient in most chiropractic offices is a 45-year-old female, 2 kids, that kind of thing. But I have sports docs and different types of practices. So who's your ideal patient? What's the strategy you get them? That course module is worth at least $200. Module 2 is setting up and completing that marketing calendar. So we spent an hour on that. We just went over it briefly. It's a lot more material to get into. I show you what events do what months. The timing of this is really important. What month does what. It's my 16 years experience and my dozens of clients, the ideal way to set this up. And it's just not setting up the calendar. Here's my ad that we run for this. Here's my actual newsletter. Here's the postcard that we send out. Here's a poster in the office. This is all included in editable documents that you can use. So it's a done with you course. So again, all the promos are in there. Here's the flyer. Here's an example of a postcard. It's all in there. Module 3 is internet marketing for new patients, not for leads. So we went over Facebook, Instagram a little bit. We're getting into my Google strategy in depth, AdWords, pay-per-click, and reviews. Also, YouTube can be pretty powerful for building your chiropractic practice as well, running ads and videos on there as well. At least $200 for that module. Module 4 is new patients via direct mail. So direct mail is not dead. I kind of grew up in the Dan Kennedy world. Studying that marketing, you get a lot of new patients via direct mail. And again, this isn't just ideas. And again, same with internet marketing. We give you my actual ads. You can see the video as you run, how we run them. New patients via direct mail. So here you're going to get my new patient or welcome to neighborhood mailer. We buy a list of welcome to the neighbors, new people moving in. We send them a 3-step letter. You're going to get that letter in a Word document. Put your name in, bang, send it off. All sorts of ads, promos, flyers that we run. You're going to get them in editable documents. Here they are, edit them. So spend an hour teaching how to do it. Here's document, do it. Setting a referral system, double your referral. So a good practice should be like half referrals. So we're set referral systems on a double referrals. You're going to get our welcome to the practice letters, our follow-up emails. We have an email system that I had me and a professional copywriter spent thousands of dollars writing 1 year's worth of emails on what to send your patients. Here's a 1-week email, 2-week, 3-week, 4-week, 6 months, etc. These are professionally done by me and a professional copywriter. It cost me thousands of dollars, a lot of my time. We're going to give you those emails in here. Just here's a Word doc, edit them, send them. Module 6 is giving lectures. So I call this my $1 million lecture because it made me $1 million and it cost me a lot of money too. So I had a PowerPoint that I originally developed to do talks, and I hired a high-end consultant, like $250 an hour, to help me edit it. And I sent one-on-one with him at a table at a restaurant and edited this for days and nailed it down. You can do this for dinner with a doc. You can do it for any kind of Rotary lecture, any kind of lecture. So you get my actual PowerPoint. I spent a fortune doing this and a lot of time. Here's the PowerPoint. Edit it, put your name in there, give it. It has presenter notes of what to say. So the first time you're nervous, you can just read the presenter notes along with the slide. Just read what it says. We spent so much time. We've given it hundreds of times. I've made millions of dollars. You're also going to get question and answer sessions, transcripts of all these, about 1 hour. So 6 hours transcripts, all your recordings of all these episodes, are action guides. So each module has an action guide. Here's what you need to do with this module. Step 1, step 2, step 3. All the PowerPoints, all the actual ads I've run, all the tools, the emails, everything that I need is all in there. That's value of over $500. A binder, this is a physical product, by the way. This is not a digital download. We're going to mail this to you in a full course. So it's all the PowerPoints we go through. It's a transcription of everything I said. There's a CD of the audio of every single transcript. Listen to your car and go along with the PowerPoints as well. And all the tools. There's a data CD. Here's all the PowerPoints. Here's all the files. Here's the lectures. Everything in there. It's going to come in a binder. This is worth $2,500 is low. It should be worth way more now. We're going to teach you how to add 20 more new patients per month. We're going to teach you how to add $400,000 to your practice. So the value of $2,500 is kind of a joke, but that's just that, if you actually bought these piece by piece. If you do it now, we're going to throw in 2 killer bonuses. Most one is I'm going to critique 3 ad critiques. So people have done this before. I'll look at a landing page, look at your web page, an ad you want to send out, anything you want. Those are worth $300 each. That's a couple $100 value there. My financial plan calculator, someone who will sell you this monthly service. We show you how to break down patient care. I don't know why I put 97. There's hundreds of dollars. Most cars have a problem. They have 12 covered visits. After 12, they try to get them to pay cash and they lose the patient. So what this financial calculator is an Excel sheet. You're going to plop in 12 visits at $20 copay. Next 12 at $55. It's uncovered. Your total bill is X. 3 monthly payments, 6 monthly payments. It breaks it down in an Excel sheet, just does it for you, along with a video of me explaining how you do it. That's worth so much. Your retention can double with that alone. But that's not all. People that take fast action right away from this, right away, are only going to give this the first couple of docs, my killer day 1 and day 2 training. So this is audio training of how I train my associates and my client associates how to crush their day 1 and day 2. So all these new patients that we're sending in come in even more. So that's super, super valuable as well. So this fast action, just the next 20, 30 minutes it'll be that you can get that. So altogether, this ultimate new patient marketing toolkit and the bonuses are well over $3,000. And that's like kind of a joke because it's going to teach you how to 20 new patients a month to your practice. That's worth $300,000 to $400,000 in a minimum at your practice. And if you act now before this next 30 minutes, we're going to let you get everything in this course for just 3 payments at $397 or prepaid discount of $997. This bonus is a great deal. It's going to get away fast in a New York minute. I'm going to grab this today at 3 payments at $397. So we do pay $397 today, we build the next 30 days $397, or discount a one-time investment of just $997. The URL is there. You can also click on it there. add20np.com/ultimate-toolkit. You can also click on the webinar link as well. So I'm listed for 7 doctors. We have these courses made up. This is not my full-time business. My full-time business is my practice. We only have 7 courses made up and ready to go. So I may not print more. Again, I make my money at the practice, unlike most people you're listening to out there. Maybe I won't print another one. Maybe I won't do this webinar again. I don't know. So if a new patient were $1,500 minimum, and that's a minimum, you should be $2,000. We're $2,500. You add one more new patient, there's more than pays for the program. One, if I can't teach you how to get one more new patient in your practice after getting 100 a month for years, there's problems. So add20np.com/ultimate-toolkit or click on the link in the webinar. So you may not believe this can add 20 or more. I think we've shown you that we could do that easily. I mean, 50, 60 is doable. But if you don't believe you can land on the moon either. So I'm going to give you my 100% unconditional money-back guarantee. I don't need your money if you don't find this is valuable. If you do at least the first 2 modules and they aren't everything that I told you it was, I'll give you a full refund anytime. Send it back. Don't send it back. Keep it. I'll send you a refund. Again, I'm not in this. I'm in this to help docs. I make my money in my practice, unlike most people out there. So it's a good quote. Doberman Dan is one of Dan Kennedy's proteges, but it's a great quote I love. He said, I've seen millions made from even the wrong actions, so making action, doing something, but I've never seen anything good come from inaction. So you got to take action. You want to change the way things are, you need to take some action. So go to add20np.com/ultimate-toolkit. So sign up now, go to that URL or click above, and this special discount is only good for the next 30 minutes. So we're going to start this clock down timer right now. And in the next 30 minutes, all these bonuses are going to go away. So add20np.com/ultimate-toolkit or click above, enter to win now. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon. Make sure to get this program. It's going to change your life. Well, there's our timer finally, and we're going to get going. So there's a 30-minute timer. Add20np/ultimate-toolkit or click above. Get the ultimate new patient marketing machine toolkit now and expand your practice today. We're going to add 20 new patients per month to your practice, increasing your revenue by $300,000 to $400,000 per year. Check it out, and we'll talk to you soon.